Hey everyone, and welcome back to our Disneyland Hotel Diaries. Planning a trip to the parks is so much fun, but the biggest hurdle is always the same. Where are you gonna stay? Especially when you're trying to find that sweet spot between saving some money and actually being close to the magic.
Well, today we are taking a really close look at a super popular budget-friendly spot right in the middle of everything, the Alamo Inn Suites. So here's the plan. We're going to cover its location, peek inside the rooms, weigh all the pros and cons, and then give you the final verdict so you can figure out if this is the right hotel for your next Disney trip. All right, first things first. And you know what it is? Location, location, location. For a Disneyland hotel, this is everything. It can totally make or break your entire vacation. So let's see how the Alamo really stacks up.
Okay, so check this out. The area gets an official walkability score of 81 out of 100, which is officially rated good for walkers. That's a great sign for sure, but what does a number like 81 really feel like when your feet are aching after 12 hours in the park? It means this. You're looking at a pretty easy 10 to 15-minute walk to the front gates of Disneyland. And honestly, that is a huge plus. Think about it. No paying for parking, no waiting for trams, no hassle. You can just walk. You can even pop back to your room for a quick nap or to drop off all that merch you bought. That kind of freedom is a total game changer. And I know what some of you are thinking, especially if you have kids. Is it safe to walk back late at night? Well, this review from Carrie really hits the nail on the head. The path is well lit, and you're almost never alone. You're usually walking in a happy little stream of other Disney fans heading back. So yeah, the location really delivers on convenience and peace of mind. So we've established the location is a major win. But what about the room itself? The place you'll be crashing after a marathon day of walking in churros. Let's open the door and see what we're working with. Okay, so you can see the rooms are pretty straightforward. They're simple. But here's the thing. The one word that pops up again and again in hundreds of reviews isn't fancy or luxurious. It's clean. And for a lot of people, that's the most important thing. I mean, this quote just says it all, doesn't it? When a budget motel is getting praised for being cleaner than a five-star hotel, you know their housekeeping team is doing something seriously, seriously right. That kind of reassurance is priceless. So what's actually in the room? Well, you get all the basics you really need for a Disney trip. There's a fridge for your water bottles and snacks, a microwave for leftovers, and of course, a coffee maker to get you caffeinated and out the door. It's definitely a no-frills setup, but it's got exactly what you need to rest and recharge for another day of fun. Hey, just a quick pause. If you're finding this breakdown helpful, do me a favor and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We've got a lot more of these Disneyland Hotel Diaries coming, and we don't want you to miss out. All right, let's get into the really juicy stuff. Every hotel has its good sides and its not so good sides. We went through over 800 reviews to give you the real story, the perks that guests absolutely love, and the quirks you should probably know about before you even think about booking. Let's start with the biggest perk of them all, and it is a big one: free parking. I'm not kidding, this is practically unheard of around Disneyland. Most other hotels are charging $30 a night, sometimes more. Over a few days, this one perk could literally save you over $100. That's huge. Now, if we look at what people are saying overall, the picture is mostly positive. You can see that way over half the guests rated their stay as good or excellent. But you also can't ignore that chunk of terrible reviews over there. It kind of suggests that while most people have a perfectly fine stay, if something does go wrong, it goes really wrong. So here's the breakdown. On the praised for side, you've got the big wins we've talked about. It's super clean, the parking is free, you can walk to the park, and most people say the staff is great. But on the watch out for side, you have the potential issues. That big one is the risk of major service problems, which seems to be where those bad reviews come from. And of course, it's a basic motel, so you might get some noise or find minor things, like the pillows aren't your favorite. And just to give you the full picture, we have to show you what one of those terrible experiences looks like. This review details a really bad check-in situation. The lesson here isn't that this happens all the time. It doesn't. But it is a heads up that if you run into a problem, the customer service might not be what you'd hope for. It's just something to be aware of. Okay, so it's time to put it all together. We've talked location, we've seen the rooms, we've looked at the good, the bad, and the ugly. After all that, what's the final verdict? Is this the right hotel for you? Let's just make this super simple. This hotel is going to be a perfect fit for you if your number one goal is to save money that you can spend inside the parks. If all you need is a clean, safe place to sleep and shower after a 14-hour Disney day, this is your spot.
If free parking and a short walk are your absolute top priorities, then you should seriously consider it. And hey, if you do decide to book, we've got 3 little pro tips we pulled from the reviews. First, book way in advance. This place gets popular. Second, it's worth checking the hotel's own website directly. Sometimes they have the best deals. And third, a fun little perk, your room key gets you a 15% discount at the Denny's right next door for that late night meal.
So, at the end of the day, it really all boils down to this one simple question. Is saving a few $100 on your hotel worth a 15-minute walk and skipping all the fancy resort luxuries? That's the trade-off. And now you've got all the info you need to make that call for yourself. Thanks so much for watching.